Today I have for you this 42-inch Hunter brand Beacon Hill ceiling fan. I picked it up at my local Habitat Restore, and the reason I got it from there is that I actually volunteer with the Restore. What I do for them is ensure that the ceiling fans they receive via donation are more presentable than how they previously came in. Without any further ado here, I'm going to be demonstrating the fan for all you guys, starting out with the light kit. And for those who are curious, I'm using 3 6-watt equivalent energy-saving compact fluorescent bulbs in there. I'll turn that off. And for the fan itself, I'll begin with the high speed. Looking at the black piece of tape I attached to one of the blade brackets for RPM indication, I'd say that high is probably going to spin at roughly 230, possibly 235. It's a little bit slower than some Hunter fans of this generation that are 42 and 44 inch. However, it does have a 14-degree blade pitch, I believe, so it definitely pushes an extremely good amount of air for its size. And although it cannot be observed on camera, one of the other fans that I have nearby, just laying on the floor, is actually spinning due to the airflow produced from this fan, proving how powerful it actually is. Next, I'll bring it down to medium speed. Medium will spin down to approximately 190. Maybe 195 RPM. This is pretty much what a modern 42 or 44 inch Hunter fan would be like on high speed, both in terms of speed and airflow. And last, however certainly not least, the low speed, which I'll show with the fan and light on simultaneously. Low is pretty much your typical 50 to 55 RPM, which can be seen on most 44 or 52 inch Hunter models. One thing to note is that the fan is absolutely silent on all three speeds. When I first installed the fan, I was having some issues with the globes rattling. However, I tightened up the set screws to make sure the globes are completely snug. Now the fan makes no noise whatsoever. Okay, I'll turn everything off now. And I'm going to be discussing some general information on the fan. It is dated 1999 and is actually an American model due to it having English and Spanish on the label, not English and French. Also, it does not include the mandatory safety cable, which Canadian Hunter fans would have had, or any other fan sold in Canada since the mid-80s for that matter. The fan uses a 172x14 motor, I believe, which is definitely a lot bigger than the modern Hunter fans. I don't even believe the 52-inch models use a motor this large. This would have been one of the last generations of Hunter fans to be produced without the grommets before they introduced those. I know a lot of people are probably going to call me crazy for this, and I can foresee a lot of people leaving me comments questioning this. However, I'm actually a large fan, if you will, of these Hunter grommets, as I think they reduce noise and also allow the blades to droop slightly, which is good for a flush mount installation. Again, I know this is probably not the most popular opinion, it's just my personal preference. Speaking of flush mounted, this is how the fan came when it was brought to the restore. I noticed that a lot of Hunter Beacon Hills, particularly in my area, come flush mounted. I guess it just seems to be a trend, particularly of the late 90s and early 2000s. To conclude the video here, I'll be touching on some pros and cons in regards to the fan, and what I would rank it out of 5 stars. Beginning with the pros. The overall quality of construction on the fan is quite high, as per usual with most late 90s Hunter models. I find the blade brackets in particular to be quite strong as compared to newer Hunter models. The motor is pretty decently sized for a 42-inch fan, certainly much better than builder grade. And of course the performance is outstanding. It is silent on all 3 speeds and blows a great amount of air. The fan is fairly versatile, as it can be installed with or without light kit. As you can see, it's shown width, and can be downrod or low profile mounted, depending on ceiling height. The blades are also reversible from white, as you can see, which I currently have facing down, to light oak, which I decided to leave facing up this time, just to do something a little bit different. In terms of the cons, there isn't anything particularly substantial to complain about with this fan. The main thing I would consider as a con would be the lack of grommets for the blade brackets. However, that's more of a personal preference as opposed to anything else. Overall, I would give the fan 4 to 5 stars. Like I said, the lack of grommets are a slight disappointment. However, other than that, it is quite a decent model from Hunter, and I would certainly recommend it if you're looking for a powerful 42 to 44-inch fan. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and there's lots more to come.